It's finally here. After months of 50% craziness and the rest just pure procrastination, Part 2 of Ender's Archive's Halo 3 is finally here. If you haven't already, please go back and check out Part 1. It'll give you a really in-depth analysis of Halo 3's massive campaign. This video will cover everything else the game has to offer, which is surprisingly quite a bit. This game really gave you a bang for your buck back in the day, with many multiplayer modes, the ability to create your own game modes, customize maps, design your own Spartan or Elite, and even make your own movies and photo galleries. With so much to analyze, I think we'll start with the most memorable of the bunch, Forge Mode. Forge Mode was actually introduced in Halo 3. It gave players the power to customize multiplayer maps by adding weapons, vehicles, power-ups, equipment, and scenery items that are unique to certain maps. We wouldn't see the full potential of Forge Mode until Halo Reach, but this was a great way to kick it off. Any additions you wanted to make to a specific map for a custom game mode or just to mess around with your friends was now possible, thanks to the tools Bungie provided to the player. To spawn in new items, you need to transform into an orbital pod. From there, you can open the items menu, giving you full access to Halo's toy chest. The menu is categorized with everything you need. At first glance, these categories can seem a little intimidating, but they are easy to learn and even encourages exploration to find something you may have never seen before. You are also given a budget. Every item has a set value and item limit. I assume it was to prevent performance issues on the 360, but for them to keep this in the MCC for both PC and current generation consoles is kind of a weird choice. If I want to spawn 10,000 tanks and blow them up all simultaneously, and then transform my PC into a ball of flames, then let me, damn it. Along with access to Halo's massive menu of items, you are also given the ability to create your own player spawn points, to make sure you can spawn in the right place every time you die. You can even select what team they are tied to, or make it to where it's a one-time spawn, or a permanent spawn, depending on the purpose of your map. You can even control how often items spawn, and change their physics to give them gravity, or stay exactly where you place them to make a really cool arms wall or whatever art you have in mind. Placement of items is easy thanks to the orbital pod's access to flight and ability to move any item that glows green, making map exploration and customization very easy and fun. As cool as the multiplayer maps are, some of them have their secrets with interactable control panels and skulls. Yes, there are more skulls to be found outside the campaign. In 2010, Bungie released 2 DLC map packs called the Mythic Maps. 6 new maps in total were added, along with each having their own skull. And to remain consistent, I'll show you their locations. Assembly. This skull is relatively easy to find. Fly to the center of the map, look for the Y-shaped wire structure. In the crevasse, you'll find the skull. Citadel. This one is easy to find too, but it can be a pain to collect. Fly to the center of the map and look for the blue arrow-shaped lights. Fly slightly to the right of them and look up towards the ceiling. You'll see the skull nested in a little cranny in the ceiling. Spawn a gravity lift and hop up to grab it. Heretic. This one feels like they just kind of placed it without thinking. Just fly to the center of the map, look at the vents, and you'll just see it out in the open. Longshore. This was the first skull I found on my own back in the day. Fly out to the edge of the map and look for the big red sign with a cartoon whale on it. Fly to the vent shaft, and next to it you'll see the skull tucked away in between the wall and the vents. Orbital. This one is in an odd spot. Fly till you find what looks like a rocket launching area lined with red lights. Fly up near the top and you'll see the skull hidden in the divots in the wall. Fly to the side, crouch walk to pick it up. Sandbox. This skull threw me and my friends in a loop back in the day, and it's not that the skull is hard to find, it's the gimmick that comes with it. First, look at the sun and then the 2 towers to the right of it. In between those towers is where the skull lies. Getting to it is the hard part. Once you've stepped out of bounds, the large towers begin to fire lasers at you, preventing from traversing the desert. Back then, my friends and I built this crazy long tunnel using scenery items to shield us from the blast. While you can still do that, there's a much easier solution that would have saved me and my friends a lot of time when we were kids. Spawn a 2-way teleporter node, then place the first one on the safe zone. Then fly the corresponding node to the skull. You'll be fast enough to dodge the lasers. Once that's placed, let the laser destroy you and then pick up a bubble shield. Go through the teleporter and quickly activate the shield to protect yourself from the lasers. Now you can safely grab the skull. And with that, we have found all the secret mythic map skulls. Before we get to the next subject, let me show you a tiny forge trick my friends and I used to do all the time. Go to the map titled Last Resort and then find an open area. Spawn an open container and place it upside down. Then spawn a barricade and place it inside the container. Next, spawn in a gravity lift. Throw that inside and watch the container fly up to the heavens. We called this the rocket, and it makes me really happy that this still works in the MCC today. So actually, I'm coming back to the audio thing to tell you guys that Halo 3 just had a massive update to where it got a new map. The first new map we've seen in like literal years. There hasn't been a new map pack since I was like a kid in elementary school, so this is actually really sweet. It's called Waterfall, and just hearing that, I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is like another beachy map. No, you're inside of a glacier, and you can just see, like, it's very bright, very blue. It's very pretty with the ice. There's like pelicans and there's like pelicans and fucking planes flying around. There's a lot of cool like technological areas. It's got that same eerie feeling as the other maps do when you're just kind of exploring it by yourself. It's got like little chutes you can go down. There's gravity lifts. There's tight corners. There's a little open area out there by the hangar part. It's so cool. I've never thought that they would go back and add new maps to older Halo titles. I really hope 343 keeps doing this, because this is just awesome. I would love to see more maps being added to Halo 2, maybe even Halo Combat Evolved, especially Reach. Like, if we could get some more Reach maps, that would be sick. Like, oh man, this is cool. So the future of Halo map packs is not over. This is really, really cool. Wow, I'm impressed. Good job, 343. I tip my headset to you. Multiplayer in Halo 3 is very expansive, with a variety of different modes that widely change up the gameplay or slightly adjust it to what you might be feeling at the time. There are a variety of game modes to choose from, having their own unique attributes. Slayer, Halo's version of the classic deathmatch. 2 teams, each consisting of 4 players, go head-to-head in one of many maps. The first team to 25 to 50 kills wins. Though the premise is simple, there are a lot of factors that could help your team get an edge over the others, like power weapons, and knowing where they spawn. A power weapon, for example, an energy sword, in the hands of a good player could be the difference in a game. But then there's also a rock, paper, scissors thing to it. Sure, you may have a sword, but I have a rocket launcher, and your team may have the cover cornered, but I'm also coming in with a shotgun to do massive short-range damage. Or you could just run away and throw grenades. That seems to be what everyone resolves to in the end. There are also other forms of Slayer, like Precision Slayer. What they want you to think is that it's Slayer with battle rifles, but it's really trying to see who can get the most grenade kills. Then there's snipers. They want you to think that you're playing Slayer with snipers, but it's really trying to see who can get the most grenade kills, and that one guy in the corner who can actually aim. And lastly, there's my favorite of the Slayer types, SWAT. This game mode is played with just battle rifles and no shields or radars. Headshots are an instant kill, and the best part, no grenades, just reaction and skill. Flag and Bomb is filled with objective type games, like Capture the Flag or Plant the Bomb. Not my cup of tea, but nice to play every now and again to change things up. The objective is to try and retrieve or defend the flag or detonate an explosive in your enemy's base, and vice versa. Headhunter. Yeah, I sat in queue for 10 minutes and couldn't find a game and got bored and left, but based off the description, it's where there's a special target, a player on a team or a free-for-all, and this player either needs to be taken out or protected because of certain game modifiers, like Juggernaut. One player is made very powerful, but also has a large target on his back and will constantly be teamed up on until taken out, and then a new Juggernaut takes their powers. Action Sack is the what-if rule sets of Halo, truly making every game mode just as random and as chaotic as possible, while also throwing in game modes from other categories. One mode I played was called Team Punch-Out, where you had a plasma pistol and could only destroy the shields with it. The goal was to break the enemy's shield and then hit them as fast as possible, and most of the time it just led into a huge mosh pit with tons of people dying instantly.
Hello there. Oh, I got dead again. This game stinks. No, 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 no!
Excited.
Oh, fuck.
What in fuck's name are you doing?
Now, these two game modes are special. They were originally Action Sack titles, but became so popular they were given their own game mode back in the day. Infection and Griffball. Infection is the classic battle of zombies and humans. The goal, if you're a survivor, was to survive until time ran out, equipped with a shotgun and a precision weapon, and very limited ammo. You had to make the best of your situation to survive the zombie horde. That only grows when time moves on. Every time one of your fellow Spartans meets his end with an unfortunate zombie encounter, they are added to the horde, and they're coming for you. If you spawn as a zombie, you are equipped with an energy sword and a bloodlust for survivors. You have increased movement and a higher jump. You can sneak up on people and infect them for extra health. This mode was the favorite between my friends and I, and we poured hours into it trying to survive or hunting each other down to make sure they didn't survive when time ran out. Griffball was a mode created by the makers of Red vs. Blue. You have 2 teams of 4 and a bomb in the center. Each team is equipped with gravity hammers, and the goal is to try and deliver the ball to the other side of the court. This is basically Halo's version of football and soccer, and a great change of pace from the shooter aspects of multiplayer. Theater mode. This allows you to look back into your recent matches and campaign missions and see what's happening from any angle you desire. You can look in first or third person mode, or even fly around in free mode. While in theater, you can record your favorite parts of the battle or take snapshots of your favorite moments. And then you have the Spartan customization, where you can unlock and equip your character with different armor pieces from specific sets of all the original Halo 3 sets. All the original sets from Halo 3 are here, even the recon armor and flaming helmet that was only available to Bungie staff, until Halo 3 got really old and then they just kinda gave it to everybody, or if you hacked or glitched the game. But other than that, that's basically everything Halo 3 has to offer. Quite the expansive library if you ask me. And with that, we have covered everything that Halo 3 has to offer, from the massive campaign with freeing mechanics and all sorts of fun stuff, to the multiplayer mode, which you can customize or just play the pre-made modes that Bungie gave to us. This game will always be a treasured memory to me, and now, as you can tell from the slight stutters, I am going off script. I love this game, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. Thank you so much for watching the very first 2-part episode of Ender's Archives. I already have plans for future episodes, and some are already in the making, so stay tuned. And thank you for being patient. I know this took a lot longer than it should have to come out. It was just because, as I explained in the update video, that a lot of things were changing, and I wanted to make sure I got my mental head thing, whatever stupidness is going on in my mind, I wanted to make sure I had it under control, just to make sure the content I gave you guys was to the highest quality I could give it to. So, yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video or in one of my next streams. Be sure to look out for my stream schedule, which I'm going to put up now. So, yeah, me that's just talking to a microphone right now, make a stream schedule. So, cool. See ya, everybody.